Hi, it's time for the human race to wake up. We've been living for too long with one hand tied behind our back, hundreds and thousands of years. My name's Nick Haynes. I'm a couples counselor who specializes using emotionally focused couples therapy. I'm a past family mediator and student, well, no, I worked in dispute resolution, and I'm a student of sociolinguistics, which is basically, in simple terms, how we talk to each other and what we mean by it. I'm starting a new series called Getting to Know Our Psychology, and that title includes in it how we verbally talk with each other and communicate with each other. And so in this series, I'm not only going to be giving videos about certain aspects of our psychology, most importantly, our need that we are bonding mammals, which means in everyday terms that we dig having somebody else we can rely on, that we can seek comfort from, and we enjoy being the same for them when they're under the cosh and they're needing comfort support. In other words, we thrive on both enjoying being autonomous and independent, but also being able to reach out to others and have them reach out to us at times of stress and to seek and give and get comfort and reassurance. So I'm going to be talking about many aspects of how we relate with each other and that basic psychology. And I'm also going to be talking about how we can communicate more effectively, but most importantly, more benignly and compassionately with each other. And I promise you, while this may take a long time in terms of the change that the human race wants and needs, it's perfectly possible to do it. And as part of what I am doing here on this channel, I will also be inviting others who have skills in the areas that I'm talking about or who have something interesting to say to come on my podcast and to be part of sharing and giving information that you would find valuable. I'm also going to be reflecting and commenting on various phenomena, various aspects of what's going on in society where I feel that I have something to say about its effects on our relationships with each other, the running of society, how we communicate, and the ability to experience benign outcomes. The human race, in cosmic terms, is a very young species. We've not been around that long in cosmic times or terms. But in simple terms, you could say we've been through four basic stages in our evolution. We've gone through the stage of hunter-gatherer, agriculture, industrialization, and now technology. We currently prepare our tribe for life through a period of education and information over several years. And what this does is it provides us with tools to deal with practical life and survive. And also it gives us information, usually through the characteristical tool of intellectual means, focusing on rationality and logic, both as a means of thinking about life, what it is we're meeting, as well as receiving information, but also as a doorway and gateway to entering the marketplace, which in our adult lives for us all is, well, the vast majority of us who don't have private financial means, is to get a job and earn money. So that looks, those three things are important, aren't they? We need to be able to practically survive. We need to be able to understand things and apply knowledge to new things that we meet, figure them out. And then we need a method of kind of entering into that marketplace. So I don't have any great problem with those three things. And they're not the only subjects that we do, but I'm talking broad brush here in basic terms. And in doing that, implicitly, explicitly, we're preparing our tribe for life, aren't we? We're giving them the tools. But are we giving them all the tools that we all need? And once you look and see and make sense of some of the experiences we have of being a human being, you get to see very, very clearly that we do not. In fact, we've got virtually no chance. That may seem a bit hyperbolic, extreme, but when you understand what you need, what we need, what any species would need, who have our kind of makeup to find their way through the jungle and come out together the other side in a safe and benign way, you would definitely understand once you see it that we have indeed got our hands tied behind our back and given some predisposing features of our nature and something to do with how we've been socialized. It's not really surprising that if we were honest, and we hear many people saying this, we are a warring race that seems to endlessly go around behaving in ways that produce or create conflict and which lead to war. But because I work in the fields I do, I work with relationships, I work with couples that allow me to gain experience and give my expertise in helping them with their relationships, that's allowed me to accrue a lot of understanding about certain forms and ways that we interact together. It allows me to see and understand how important attachment and feeling connected relationally and emotionally to other beings, human beings, is for us all. We are all primed biologically as bonding mammals. We enjoy independence, but we also enjoy being close to physically, but also psychologically and emotionally to other human beings, particularly when life is difficult and stressful for us. But it's a two-sided coin, because not only do we thrive best enjoying independence, being able to reach out to others for support, for help, for comfort, for reassurance, we also very much are biologically wired to enjoy and appreciate being the one who is turned to, being the co-pilot. I'm struggling. What do you think? That helps us feel good when we feel that we want and we feel valued and of primary importance to another human being when they turn to us. This is all part of our bonding. Yet, I will say to you that my experience as a couples counselor, as somebody who's worked in studying how we talk to each other, and just my own personal experience of being on the planet, I'm not surprised. In fact, I can't really see, given the nature of society and the forces we experience, how we couldn't really find ourselves with the predisposing factors that we have, and the way our brains work, to go down the route of conflict and war. But there is an alternative, and the alternative is actually here right in front of our noses. And this is the time when we need to wake up or be woken up or be amenable to be woken up and to see it. The information that we need to thrive and have a benign future is all around us, but it's in compartments. So we recognize we go and see a counselor or a psychotherapist or a psychologist or whatever because they have the expertise, and we will always need that. However much, in general terms, there is information available because you need the specificity. If I were in a relationship and I was having problems with a partner, my experience tells me that however much I might try and help the relationship because of what I know, I can't be the therapist. It wouldn't work. My partner would resent it. So I would need perhaps to go and see somebody so that I could just be myself and have somebody else for once be the counselor room and not me. So my point is we're always going to need the help of specialist help. But at the moment, the information we all need is trapped in these compartments, and it's not out there in the marketplace of everyday life. There is much more I'm going to be saying about everyday life, about politics, about corporations, and so on and so forth. But again, that's for future videos. The basic point I'm making, and I'm going to finish with now, is we have not been given sufficient tools to have a benign, loving, thriving, caring existence, and for our societies to reflect that. If you don't seed individuals who go out and make society with the attributes and characteristics of how to sidestep difference and conflict and make it something that becomes an experience for both people or both groups of at least feeling entitled to your view, you don't have to agree with the other person, then how are you going to actually have a loving, caring, benign society? You have to act in ways that are loving and caring and benign, because as we found out, just having opinions and beliefs just gets us involved in a circle of who's right and whoever's shouting the loudest for being right. So we ain't got a chance. And now we need it. And there are enough people around the planet who have this information that, and with the internet and a very quick way of getting to touch millions of people around the world, then we have the opportunity to seed in a retrospective way in the adult community enough information that certain numbers of people will respond to that can begin to change our society into a more loving, caring, a more compassionate society, and for the human race to raise its vibration and consciousness into love. Thank you for listening. I'll be back, as Arnie said. And please press the subscribe button and the bell to let you know notification when there's a new video. Go well.